I just believe more pastors is going through this than we know, or more Christians and their families are going through this more and more. And no one is really saying anything about it. Mm-hmm. At least I'm honest and say, okay, I don't like it, but I love my daughter and I'm not going to disown her.
Welcome to the first episode of Beyond the Break podcast, conversations for the resilience and restorations of families. And it is important that we are here today. This is the first of a series. And today on our show, we have a dynamic conversation that we're going to have between Vershe and between Miss Sharese. I am Vance White, and this is my co-host,
Alex Horton.
And I will allow Vershe and Miss Sharese to introduce themselves. Vershe, please.
I'm Vershe. I'm 32. African-American female. Bisexual. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Miss Sharese.
I am Sharese. I'm a pastor of a church, Spring of Living Water Ministries. Mm-hmm. Vershe Dixon is my daughter, and I'm Sharese Whonry, and I'm a heterosexual.
Okay, no, that's fine because so that's good because in this space it's about transparency from both sides. I think that very often we want to be heard, and when we want to be heard, sometimes it's difficult for us to hear others, right?
Yeah.
I do recognize that in my own personal lived experiences that the conversation is valid from both ends. And I think that in the middle is where we find healing. So thank you both for being here. Thank you both for being transparent and open. I just want to just say, as we start off with this, I just want to ground. I just want to say that our goal is that we will listen and not not interrupt each other, that we will speak feelings and not accuse.
Right.
And that we will allow space for truth, even if it's hard to hear. Alex, is there something you'd like to add?
I'm excited to be here and collaborate with everyone with respect to this healing journey that we're on. This isn't necessarily a journey of 1,000 miles. This is the first step in that journey. Vance and I are both excited to use this first pilot episode of Beyond the Break to begin the process of healing, intra-communal difficulties within families. Because again, I love how Vance said it. Oftentimes these conversations occur outside of our community, but it is time to have them internally as well in our safe spaces that we can create.
Okay, great. Well, I'm just ready to jump into it.
Okay.
I know, Alex, that you met with Miss Sharese and you met with Vershe. You have a question that we just like to open up with. We just gonna jump into it. Okay. We know how to talk to each other.
Right.
So we're just gonna navigate that. Alex, if you can just drop that first question for us.
Yes, sir. So this really sets the tone around love, around connection, and really getting into healing the divide that can naturally occur between two human beings, between a mother and a daughter. And that's milestones and moments. When we debriefed prior to, this episode being aired, I asked for both of you to think about a moment where you felt especially connected. And by doing that, we can really establish that, there are steps to do moving forward, but we aren't reinventing the wheel. We are starting with a decent base of, previous connection. Do either of you have something in mind?
Well, I could start because I do not feel that I was ever disconnected, and I could be wrong.
Right.
I don't feel a time that there was a disconnection between me and her, and it may have because she might have felt she couldn't say things to me.
Right.
But to me, I don't think we ever was disconnected.
But redirecting a little bit, what is a moment where you did feel connected, where it's like,
well, I was connected.
I know I feel her love right here in this moment.
And even as you approach that, I want to make sure that when you approach it, that you're answering the question from your perspective. Mm-hmm. understanding that we're in the room.
Right.
But it's like, we're not intending, we don't take that you're going to be malicious. So
Right.
even if it's hard to hear, right? So
Right.
it's it's your perspective. And we are here. So I just want to make sure, so you don't have to keep prefacing with the, and I may be wrong. No, if you're wrong, that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And this one last thing, this specific question starting the conversation off is more strengths-based, where it is like, there are, happy moments. Whatever it might be now, it's like, let's start with that and foreground that as we get deeper into things.
Okay, like I said, the most connected when she was younger, a little girl. We were always together. There was never a time I felt disconnected to her. So the most time I would probably say when she was a little girl.
Right.
Okay.
When she was small.
What would you say, what was it about those moments?
Because she was like the only girl in the house and she had 4 brothers, it was like that connection of us being the girls, So we kind of connect on that level.
Right.
I did her hair. We did our shopping together. So everything was done with me and her. Even when her brothers would go with her dad, it would still be just me and her.
Okay.
So I always felt connected in that way.
Gotcha.
And that's so interesting, because what I feel like I'm hearing and I'm taking from that immediately is when there was nothing in the way of that mother-daughter type of dynamic. Right. Like, I'm the mother that is clear, you are the daughter that is clear. And it felt like we also know that when we have that specific dynamic when we're children, it is just what it is. The mom leads, right? I think that as we get older as children, when who we are starts to blossom, those things is where it becomes. So I can understand how it would be easier to connect when we were children. Vershe,
Yes.
can you think of a time where you were particularly connected?
I say when we used to do the praise dance stuff. I say like the church, like it was usually church things because I was more into it than the guys was. I was, she wanted to go to Bible study. I would go to Bible study. She wanted to sing in choir. I'm going to sing in the choir. Like I felt more connected like that. Like we had a lot of similar interests. Even if I didn't know it was an interest, she knew. And I liked it.
Yeah.
So I felt most connected doing the church things.
Okay.
Okay. The praise dance thing, it makes me think of that video on you with the, they was praised as the pastor threw the pillow across the room. But no. Okay. So that's the connection. I think the next question is now, what was a time that you guys were particularly, were you not connected, right?
Yes.
Disconnected.
I would like to start with Vershe specifically, just balancing authenticity and attachment, balancing being true to yourself and who you are, because there are these church activities, there is praise dancing, there is choir, and that's the attachment that keeps you connected and grounded with your mother. But again, there were some difficulties in terms of being authentic and true to who you are. So when did you start to sense those within yourself?
Early on, like when I started sensing like that. What exactly? Like
when did you start to blossom into your own personal self-expression? Or the layman terms is, when did you come out? Or how was that process? Like, when did it start?
I didn't have like a major coming out though. It was like I was aware of myself for a long time, but I just didn't know because I was a kid. And then like we would have conversations, like, she would have conversations with us and say, hey, what do you like? And I never knew. I knew what was the right answer.
Like girl and boy?
Yes.
So let me ask you a question.
But I used to feel disconnected in the moments.
So you used to feel disconnected? Okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. At what age, at what time did it feel like that you started to notice that you needed to ask that question?
More when they was turning teens, like 12, 13, preteen, teenage, I would ask all my children. I wanted them to feel comfortable enough to tell me But I don't know if I'm just saying, I thought they would be comfortable enough to tell me, but I wanted it to be like that for them, to be able to say, I like this, this, or this. Right. Even if I did have backlash, or I would say, well, this is what this is, or this is what that is. And I'm thinking they might think that I was going to, because I am a church person.
And I was going to ask that question. Do you feel like, I know you said that you wanted it to be like you were approachable.
Right.
Did you feel like your mom was approachable?
No.
Okay. So there. Right. So no. But see, that's what I'm saying. So right there, right? Very often, I think that is where we have to start way back and say, hey, where did this thing go off course? So she said she wanted to be approachable. You said that she wasn't approachable. Why wasn't she approachable?
Because I think the question, you start asking us a lot sooner than then. And it's like, if I said I didn't know, and you was like, what? It was the immediate reaction, and it made me like, okay, that wasn't the right answer. So next time you ask, I know to say, yep. I'm like, boys, I know to say that. Just so I wouldn't get that, what? And you can go ahead and move fast. Ask the next one.
And I think that gets at that authenticity versus attachment dynamic, because you had the sense of what the true answer was, but you also needed to keep that attachment to your mom. That is your mom. And it's like, yeah, it's that balance of not wanting to feel like you're wrong and, keep things going.
And I think an element that we may be missing is very often children seek to please their parents, right?
Yeah. Right.
Very often it is like,
take away the therapy talk.
Yes. Yeah. Very often children seek to please their parents. And I think that particularly, Ms. Sharese, I really want to ask a question with you and put this on your doorstep really quickly. Before I get to you, was there a heavy religious atmosphere, culture in your household? Yes. Okay. So your goal was to make the atmosphere approachable for your children. And that is and you did that through your lens, right?
Through my lens, yes.
Vershe is saying it wasn't, that's not how we felt that. And I think that is worth diving a little bit into. Right. Do you feel that it's possible? Because a lot of us LGBT people, we have experienced something called church hurt.
Right.
Have you experienced church hurt? Mm-hmm. Okay. Church hurt for us is wanting to be for me, it was wanting to be a part of something that seemed bigger than me, that seemed like people really respected, wanted to feel seen in that space, and feeling like that I could not be seen because of who I was, knowing that my body just reacted differently to men than it did to women. Like it's nothing that I had control over, right? And coming up in that space, for me, it pushed me away from the church because I didn't think that people took time to understand who I was because of how they believed. When I'm discovering who it is that I am, I'm also trying to people please. I'm trying to be the son my father wanted. I'm playing football that I don't like. Mm-hmm. I'm doing those things. But I think that for you, Ms. Sharese, what I'd like to ask you is, how do you, and I really want you to be blunt.
Okay.
Like, how do you feel about your daughter being LGBT and you are a reverend or a pastor? How do you feel about that? And I just really want you to be so transparent.
Well, I would rather her not be. Mm-hmm. But two things can be true at the same time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love my daughter. And to me, loving her is not condemning her or beating her down with what I believe. Mm-hmm. But I am going to tell you what I believe. But she already know that. Mm-hmm. I believe that homosexuality is not right. Mm-hmm. That's just the truth. But I'm not going to hate anyone that's a part of that because I respect people. And I also think not only is homosexuality a sin, But lying, cheating, all the other things are sins as well. And if we look at it, we all fall short in some area. Like where I thought I was doing such a great job as a mom. Comes out, she thinks she's in a strict home. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking I'm the coolest mom you ever could have. You know what I'm saying? You can tell me anything. You know what I'm saying? So we all fall short to me. And you can't change what I believe, and I can't change what you believe. So we stand here for two things being true. We can agree to disagree. I'm going to love you anyway.
So is it something you'd like to respond to that? Like, and response is not necessary, but I just want to know if, when we're thinking about this, is that how you
generally, just from my end, I generally feel the same. But from my end, like, I if it's a sin, if it's not a sin, I don't know. But it's not up to me to determine that. And that's just my only sense. It's not for you to determine, the next person to determine, or anything like that. So, hey, I'm going to do what I do, and you do what you do. And we can agree to disagree, but I'm going to love you anyway, my mama. Or you my friend, or you my, whoever.
Is that look? And I feel like,
and I'm gonna love you anyway.
And I feel like, I'm sorry, I know we have questions.
No, go ahead.
No, but I feel like that is the reason why this conversation is important, because this is a mild conversation, right? We have some things lined up for people who just absolutely don't support, don't agree, don't. We have those things lined up, right? And those are going to be more difficult conversations. But it's good to start here, because I feel that we're going to learn some things about how to move forward beyond that break, how to get past that break in that. You know what I'm saying? You feel one way, you feel another way. How do we get back to love in the middle? Miss Sharese, I feel like you still didn't tell me how you felt about it. I feel like you told me the reasons you may feel a way about it because of religion.
I feel that it's sin, and I want her to be married to a man. That's the truth.
I would like to one more time and use emotional words.
Emotional words?
Yeah, because you're still saying how you think, but how do you feel?
I feel like I didn't teach her what I learned or what I think is right. But like I said, we can have different.
Does it make you sad, upset?
It makes me
feel a bit hopeless with me.
It makes me feel like I don't know how to explain how I feel. I think I feel like I would rather her be something else. Like, I don't like it.
You don't like it. Okay. So let me ask you a question.
But I don't want no one to think I'm abusive in any way.
Right. And that's the conversation. It's your transparency, how you feel. So let me ask you a question. Was there ever a butting of the heads?
About my sexuality, or just generally?
About your sexuality, centered around your sexuality.
No, not really.
Not really?
I mean, I didn't come out until last year to her. I didn't say anything about it until I was 31 years old. Fresh. Yes. It's fresh.
So everything is new to me.
I was very protective of myself growing up.
Really? So this is really fresh. See, that's something. Did you know that? Okay, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
That's why the 15-minute.
No. So this is fresh, and I think
you sent out the questions.
I did. we had technical difficulties.
But listen, I think it was probably she was trying to tell me, and I was just missing it, and without saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like. Well, I don't like Tony, or the guy she was with, or whatever, or I'm getting out of this relationship, or just trying to tell me little hints to say that she was a part of the community, and I wasn't getting it. I was like, yo, you guys gonna be fine, and this and that. And
Making me feel like I had to be with Tony.
I did.
Unfortunately.
Oh my God.
Y'all like Tony so much that I felt I had to make it work with Tony. Even though Tony, that's my boy. We get along just fine, great friends still. But it wasn't working out. But because y'all liked him so much and I knew I liked something else, I was just do what's easy.
So how was that? So how did that impact you? Because I think that is something, and it's not a, listen, what I'm just trying to say is that both sides of the conversation are important. And I don't want you to feel guilt. It's a moment to just kind of like hear and just kind of like reflect. Like maybe that wasn't intentional, right?
It wasn't just you. Yeah. It was the boys too, man. Them more than anything. They was inviting them outside. I'm trying to break up with them.
So let me ask you a question. What did you feel like being in this relationship? How was being in a relationship with Tony? You didn't want to be in a relationship. Was it like that from the beginning? So it grew into that.
Yeah, it just grew into that.
Okay.
Like, I feel like he was good for me when we first met and everything. He's an amazing father to my daughter.
He doesn't sound like a bad person at all.
He's not a bad person at all. He's a great person, actually. It's just...
He wasn't your person.
Exactly. He just wasn't what was best for me or what I wanted, which caused me to be so harmful towards him.
Okay.
So I had to eventually just put my big girl pants on and call it quits. And then when she went to ask me why I was calling it quits and it was going to be for real this time, like she said, I was hitting towards it until I eventually just said it.
So that is the truth. That is what you were doing by making certain statements. You were trying to tell her without telling her.
I was trying to let her in as close as I could without having to tell her. Because I just personally, I never felt like it should matter. Mm-hmm. You would never know me in that capacity. So it doesn't matter if I am or if I'm not. If I'm dating this girl, this guy, or otherwise. You won't know me. I'm not dating you. So I'm not on the poopy. So
I, as an LGBT person, I meet you there. Mm-hmm. I understand that. As an open-minded free thinker, I also understand that it does matter, right? And I kind of like want you to say why that does matter for you. Why
does her being a part of the community? Yeah. It matters to me. I'm not a big on what people think, but in the church community, you know how that could backfire on me as a pastor. And I'm sure other pastors deal with this, but they're not going to say it. And I don't know how they're going to treat their child, but I'm not going to disown my baby. I'm just not. At the same time, I do believe that it's wrong. So 2 things can be true.
How did you feel when you found out?
I was like, oh my God, really?
I was hoping you said that. She was like, oh my God.
That was what she actually said?
Yeah, that was the first thing. And then she thought she had a second. And then she said, well, I kind of knew. I kind of figured. I kind of thought that. And she just kind of talked herself through it. And I was just...
I had to talk myself through it.
She talked herself through it. And I just...
Because she said, you about to cry. You about to be so upset. I'm thinking like somebody died. But,
Did you feel like somebody died?
I felt like my hopes and dreams died.
and that is,
for my daughter.
Wait. Let's stick with that for a second. What do you mean when you say your hopes and dreams died for your daughter?
Because
that's a big statement.
Oh, okay. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but I had thought she was going to marry Tony, and that was my thought. I had plans on how it was going to happen and all of those different things, but it didn't.
So I just want to be able to recognize this moment right now. So what I am hearing is that you feel you felt let down because how you planned things is not how things was going.
Exactly.
Right. And to that, I I want to call on you to do something.
What?
Like, I want to just call on you to just, in this moment, to just kind of like validate that you kind of like understand that as a mom, you are a mom. As a mom, you do kind of like want what you see is best for your child.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I understand completely.
And I don't think that, and again,
I'm sure.
right. I think that for loving parents, because I didn't have, both of my parents were drug addicts. I was experiencing identity crisis, and I had no one to experience it with. So that made me act out of hypersexual ways, right?
Right.
Right. I didn't know what that meant. I just know that my body felt a certain way, and as a child, I didn't know how to respond to that. But as a parent who was there through the process with your mother, she was there with you through your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So as a mother, I'm saying kudos to you, right? Because this is difficult. And, what I experienced was difficult, but this is not about me. I'm just simply saying that I think, and Alex, I don't know if you want to chime in on this, but I do want you to just say, it's okay to say that, like, man, I'm let down. I felt let down. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay, because somebody else is going to hear that and be like, that's how I felt. They're going to be able to identify with it. But when we bring it back to the middle, how did you get past your feelings of being let down? Or are you past them is the question.
I'm past them because at first I was just concerned about everything. What people gonna think, what they gonna say, this, that, doesn't so. I'm an apostolic Christian. There's something to be said about that. And it's just a lot. What is my husband gonna say? What just so many things that went through my mind. And then I said, you know what? I raised my daughter to be an adult. Now, every decision that she makes from now on is her decision. I made mistakes in my life. I had to live my life and go through my journey. She has to go through her journey. And I believe that the same God that helped me through decision makings, whether they were good or bad, is the same God that can help her make decisions and get her through, whether her decisions are good or bad. And that's how I see it.
How did you hear that? What does that translate for you? Because I heard something, but what does it translate for you?
Because I feel God is helping me with my decisions. The same God is helping me with my decisions currently. As I can help me or would help it. He is helping me with my decisions the same as you. I just decide as I am. Because like you said, I got my own little journey, my own mind, my own beliefs, my own opinions, my own outlook. And it may not be the same as yours, but I feel like we got enough things that we can agree on. And love is ultimate. So I feel like we get over those things because we love each other. And we understand what unconditional love actually does look like. It's like, yeah, I don't like that. I resent that you think that. I hate that you did that. But you know what? I still love you. You're still who you are to me.
Right.
And vice versa.
Is it easy to love?
Is it easy to love?
Mm-hmm.
What?
It's a little
just.
It's a little harder than hate. Hate is real easy.
Hate,
love,
right? I love,
but it's easy to love.
It's easy to love.
Yeah.
I think kids always want their parents to love them.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is right at you, Miss Sharese.
Okay.
Is it easy to love? Is it easy? Is it difficult? Is it a challenge? Does it make you feel something? Sometimes when I feel a certain type of way, my chest feels like it gets smaller. Like, is it easy to love beyond this, beyond knowing this, beyond understanding this and accepting this for the reality?
Absolutely. It's easy to love. Any one of my babies, I love them. Mm-hmm. And that's a period.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel,
She don't care what we do.
Okay.
She don't care what we do.
Okay. And I
we
think
was really raised, they poured a lot of love into us growing up.
And I think that's really beautiful. Alex, I'm comfortable in knowing that we can move on to the next question. Like, I'm comfortable in knowing, I'm not sure if we're on track for it, but I'm just comfortable in knowing that this is already centered in love. I think that there may be some room for understanding, but this conversation is, this is just the tip of the iceberg for a lot of people, right? You go from literally with this conversation, there's a 0 and there's a 10. 0 being what I feel like we're experiencing 1, what we're experiencing right now. Like, I love you beyond the break. Like, I love you regardless of how I believe, what I feel, what I was taught. I love you beyond that.
Exactly.
But I feel like that the conversation also gets to, I'm going to beat you because this is not what you're supposed to be. I'm going to hurt you until you change. And that is a different type of situation that I am glad that was not this situation. If you could say something to your mother, if you could say something to your daughter, there's another question that I have to go. Do you feel like that there's something that should change that can be better between the opportunity for something to be better between you all's relationship?
No, I feel like we okay. I'm comfortable where things are. What makes me not so at ease with how our relationship is because I know she wants more. Mm-hmm. But if you ask me I'm cool. I think we in a good spot. I don't feel like my mom disliked me or shaming me or anything like that. Still feel like she loves me as she always has. And I feel like I still have the same space to live the way I want to without having to make her uncomfortable or cause offense to her or make her feel like she got to tell me why this is wrong and bring out a script like, nobody gonna live their life like that constantly. Mm-hmm. So I feel like where we are is a real nice balance, but that's what I think. Mm-hmm. And I understand that it's just what I think.
When you say your mom wants more, what does that entail?
She wants me to call her. She wants me to come out here on the weekends. She wants some more involvement with little babe, my daughter. She wants to just be there all the time. And when I'm feeling down or something going on, she wants me to pick up my phone like, Mom, tell me why this girl just did this to me. But I just be like, Mom, I need $20 so I can get to her. Yeah. And it's like, and I know that she knows that it can be deeper, and it's just like, I'll be like, no, we good. It's, I stop it at a certain point. Like, nah.
Why?
Because I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable, or nor do I want to be uncomfortable. Because some conversations to have, well, become comfortable for me. She said, apostolic Christian. That's the strong ones. So yeah. I'm cool. I don't want to make her uncomfortable. I don't want to make her worry. And you see how she said she felt let down because I'm gay. Girl, I'm living my best life. I'm fine. You should be happy that I'm happy.
Right.
And I don't like that you feel that at all. So I keep her at the distance that she is just so she can remain comfortable and happy with me.
Right.
Now
and not uncomfortable.
So now I can ask you the question.
Okay.
If you could say something to Vershe, do you feel that there is something that you want more out of your relationship, a way that your relationship could improve, that it can be enhanced? Is there something that, because of this, meaning because of the lifestyle that she has recognized, the lifestyle that she is blossoming into, because this is new. And I would say that, I don't know, you probably blossomed into it a while back, but I'm just saying that it's become aware for you.
Right.
Is there something that you like to say that may not be easy, that may not be hard? I mean, she has said that you know, when you continue to say you feel like it's a sin and all those things, understand that. But if is there a way, something that can be improved just by, how could the relationship be better if that's what you want? Just something more. I'm not particularly sure how I'm trying to pose this question. I just feel like that. I feel like I want you to just say, I feel like you're so calculated and calm. When you're so calculated and you want to be respectful of everyone's feelings. Even when I deal with you, whatever. Like, I feel like you're just so sweet. But I also feel like that as I've talked to you throughout this process, that there's just something that you just kind of like just want to say. I feel like you said a lot of it. Mm-hmm. And if it's nothing, then that's okay. But is there something that you'd like to say to Vershe that could, help with the relationship or anything like that?
Well, I would like to say, I love you, Vershe. Nothing is gonna stop me from loving you. I want to be a part of your life because you're my daughter. And mother's supposed to be in their children's life. I want to be part of whatever it is. Now, truthfully, she knows I won't marry them, her and her girlfriend, but I'm not going to oppose if that's what they're doing. Like, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But I just want her to know I love her. And there's nothing anybody could do to change it.
Right. What does, when you hear that she has boundaries in terms of how intimate and close she will be willing to have a relationship with you as her mother, how does that impact you, and in what ways have you made sense of that for yourself?
Well, it saddens me because I used to call my mother all the time, or if she was here, I would go see my mother all the time, or whatever, or we would get some type of contact. But it's not just her; it's all my children. They kind of just live their lives, and I just feel like I'm on the outside of that, which I want to be on the inside of it.
Do you feel like there's a barrier to being on the inside, for her to be on the inside? I heard her say that I love you. When you said that, are you meaning you will support their union if they decided to get married, but you just won't officiate it?
Right.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, she told me that.
And is that a barrier for the closeness of the relationship that she is seeking?
What do you mean? Like, is that a reason why I'm like not letting her in?
Yes. Like, is that part of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that a barrier? I mean,
I didn't like hearing it. I don't like it. I didn't like hearing it. I don't like the fact of it. I felt like if we wanted to go and get that marriage license because my mom can't officiate, me and her could just go here, have one of my brothers be a witness, and we could just be married, and it could have been simple, not this big production. And when she said, well, I can't officiate, it's just like, okay. I did not like that. I say that. I didn't like it.
And,
but I understand why.
Just going back a little bit. So you've only been out openly to your mother for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say the distance has changed between now and then before having that phone call and after? Because it sounds like there has always been a certain amount of distance with respect to this. The first time she asked you, what do you like? You knew based on her response what this was going to be. But then you said it. It's out in the open. Has anything changed, or is it just like a stated barrier now? And there's a reason to certain behaviors.
I think things is still the same pretty much. Like, I'd probably pick up my phone more often than I did before because now I don't have to have what I'm doing or who I'm around because she'll hear somebody's voice. Who is that? I don't have to lie or make up something anymore. So I answer my phone a lot more often. So I feel more comfortable just saying what's going on with me or what the issue with me and another person is. I can just say it straight up instead of trying to find another reason or another way to break it to it or just not saying anything at all because I can't say what I want to say.
Right.
But I feel like I can say whatever I want to say now. It's just, you can't have a ball up for a million years and then one night, overnight, it just broke down. That's not how it go. What, you got to walk around the building, 7 times more? Then the walls fall down.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how they got to go.
You're definitely the daughter of a preacher.
I think I'm just going to ask one more question. I think I'm going to ask one more question, and this is going to be a deep dive. And this, I'm not going to stay here. I'm just going to ask it just for asking it. It's my feelings, and I have, there's no evidence for me to suggest that I should feel the way I feel. It's just, I'm a part of the conversation. It's just how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I feel like you're being really mild when you said you didn't like hearing it. Right. I feel like you're being really mild. And I also want to ask you, sometimes we just need to sit with being with discomfort. Discomfort does something to us. Sometimes sitting there with discomfort. And I think I'm going to sit with this. I think I'm going to sit with it. And you know why I'm going to sit with it? I'm going to sit with it. I'm going to sit with it because going into this situation, I'm going to tell you, I have made it my goal to make sure that your story and your perspective is equally as important as your story and your perspective.
Right.
And I want to push from both at the same time to the middle. I just feel like what I heard was, this is my boundary. And I feel like that when you establish that, and it wasn't just kind of like, I support you 100%, and we won't always achieve that, right? Because I won't be, not 100%, that could have also caused, how I understood it, it could have also caused some type of offense. Okay, well, I'll just stay my distance. Now, that may not be true, but that's how I heard it, right? And I think that, I just think that love can be really restorative. Love and love may not always look like we want it to look, or we were raised for it to look. Love could mean, hey, it could be all the difference. My daughter, I'm a pastor, I could officiate my daughter. What form of greater acceptance is that and support? But that's just that's my thing, and I hear that, but go ahead with your but.
But just like I need her to respect me, and by the way
respect her.
It happens both ways.
Yes.
So she's saying it's going directly against what she believes and everything like that.
Yes.
Okay, well, have somebody like you officiate me goes against what I believe. I'm just playing. But seriously, I'm going to respect how she feel as I'm asking her to respect me.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to like it, love it, kick your heels about it. No, just respect it. That's it.
And it sounds like you respect it.
And she does.
She does. And you feel like she respects it.
And she's very nice to my fiance and everything.
Is she?
Yeah.
Is she? Okay. Well, Alex, I don't know. I feel like, thank you all for coming. Alex, is there something that you'd like to add? I just want to say thank you all, you both. We did have technical issues before, but but we made it through. Thank you so much. I just want to say that this conversation was the beginning of a larger conversation that we need to have in our community, right?
Could I add something real quick?
Sure.
I just believe more pastors is going through this than we know, or more Christians and their families are going through this more and more. And no one is really saying anything about it. Mm-hmm. At least I'm honest and say, okay, I don't like it, but I love my daughter and I'm not going to disown her. Mm-hmm. And I know for a fact that others are. They don't talk about it. It can't be said or any of that. So I think this is really good for people to try to get over what's going on, or try to get together to understand one another.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I mean? So that people won't feel like their whole family don't love them. People won't feel like I have to commit suicide because of who I am. So I do think it's a much bigger conversation that needs to happen between the Christian or the church folk or the church people, whatever you want to call them, and them talking about the LGBTQ community. Just like we feel we need God, they also do.
Right. Thank you for getting it right.
I said it right?
Yes, she said it right.
Okay, y'all know.
Keep on going.
Yeah, so I do believe that this conversation needs to be open, and our minds need to be opened up to it, because if we think that everybody needs to hear about God, we have to cover every community. Amen. Oh, sorry. I'm in church.
Amen. I do think, and to that, I appreciate that. I was raised, right? Mm-hmm. I do also feel, I know that very often I run into people that don't always believe religiously how I believe, and I don't believe how other people believe. Mm-hmm. You know, the intensities are different. Some people are just kind of like, and some people are just like, okay, we'll figure it out later on. What I do want to say is I appreciate you for being in the conversation and speaking from your perspective, because I do know for a fact that the church for LGBT people is starting to be more and more hostile. The Black community is starting to be more and more hostile.
More and more, less and less.
More and more.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me more.
We have a lot of, and I don't know, and this is a different conversation, but I'm just saying that we have a lot of, and this might be coming up, but we have a lot of dissension with cisgender women who don't want to be called cisgender, and trans women who want to be called women, right? And there is a real conversation needs to be had about that. But that is not this conversation. I'm just saying that as we are recognizing these difficult conversations that we need to have in our community so we can get everybody back to the table, because we are a culture of people that we worked out our issues at the table. We were able to talk. And now that, because it's not so easy to talk to each other anymore, I feel like that it's easier to divide. And when we divide, we lose culture, we lose history, we lose story, we lose tradition. I grew up in a house where holidays, we would go over my grandmother's house. Our grandmother going, who was going to pick up that torch. And if we don't have these conversations, those torches won't be picked up. Trying to find more and more reasons for us to come together and kind of like mitigate the reasons that keep us apart. So Alex, this is something like you, as we are winding down.
Yeah, I would say probably 2 or 3 things. I would say, I want to congratulate you for taking that step and verbalizing, to your mother, to your family, who you are fully. This is, you aren't too surprised about certain things, it seems, but with respect to your mother, she's only had this confirmed for about a year. So in some ways, it's like she's only known you fully for 1 year. And, that's a place to start. And that's, as you rediscover your relationship, remember, it is in some ways only 1 year old. So, we'll see what happens when it's 2, 3, 10 years old. And, this is, again, just the first step. I like what you talk about, Vance, in terms of not just talking about a mother and daughter dealing with sexuality and coming out, but also talking about women, cisgender women, trans women, what is femininity in the Black community? Because it's a whole different thing than in other groups. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Absolutely. Is there something you'd like to say, Ms. Sharese, as we close this thing out?
I have nothing else to say.
We know you love her. We know you love her. We get it. Yeah.
I love you too.
I love you.
I love all
you. Vershe, is there something that you would like to add?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alex, is all hearts and minds are clear? Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for viewing this episode of Beyond the Break, conversations to restore the family. And I think that it is important that we continue to have these conversations, hold space for these conversations. And that when you look at this, if you're having or experiencing the same dynamic that is going on here, to kind of like reflect. And you can always reach out to us at www.schoolofopulence.org. You can reach out to one of us, and we are definitely here to help you all get beyond the break, have that conversation beyond the break. And thank you so much for tuning in. That's all for now.